Keys to unlocking your enhanced state of being.
Gentlemen, hope everyone's having a blessed day. We are out here in the wilderness, some new territory. It's uncharted for me, so doing some surveying, some exploring on the ground. Had to get in here from the water, which is really cool. I love that. Like, there's no way to get on here except you got to go through on the water. So found a trail that goes all the way back down to the water to my kayak, and well, let me tell y'all this. You've heard the story, curiosity killed the cat. Well, let me respond back with this. No, it did not kill the cat, it made the cat. If anything, it made the cat. And that's so true. We are natural born explorers, you know what I mean? We got to get back into our primitive ways, right? Our hardwired basic instincts that are deep inside the mind, right? What I meant, like, about getting out there and taking the time to give yourself just one-on-one time with just you and your mind. Experiencing things. It doesn't even have to be nature. It doesn't have to be something like this. You could just go take yourself to a dinner and, you know what I mean, or go back home with just you. But I feel like, and this is just me speaking freely, but I feel like a lot of people are scared to be alone with themselves, because when we are alone with ourselves, this thing up here, it starts talking to us, and we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to deal with it, right? The subconscious, you know what I mean? We don't know how to deal with the things that it's trying to bring forth to us. I think, and so that's why when we're in larger groups, which there's nothing wrong with going out and having fun, that separates exactly what I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong with going out and having fun, and you know what I mean, and entertaining yourself, with group of friends and being social. We are made to be social. We should be social. But at the same time, we have to draw a line in the sand, knowing when and where it ends, right? Because a lot of times it's easy to get lost in the moment with those other groups. If anybody understands what the word conformity means, psychology even proves this theory to be true. 9 times out of 10, some of the brightest minds that are in larger groups conform to the will of the other groups, even though they know that it might be bad or toxic, and there's obvious enough signs showing that it's toxic and it's not right. Well, I think that the real key is that we are scared to speak from our heart. We're scared to speak from our heart. 9 times out of 10, we don't speak from our heart. We're just blending in. We're babbling, rambling on, right? And that's how easy it is to fall into being conformed to larger groups. That's why it's good to do mental awareness checks and take daily notes, mentality-wise of yourself, right? Like I always say, I use different, examples, but they're good examples, of trying to get people to understand. But it's just like a car. You have to treat that car and tune that car up at least once a month, right? Get the oil changed, do other necessities that need to be done to the car, air the tires back up. You don't think you have to do that to yourself? If anyone's out there and they're trying to really excel and transcend and get to the higher state of their next, self, these are vital, key factors that one must do. And I'm telling you, like, just because, we get distracted doesn't mean that we can't get put back on our course, right? And the word, when I use by distractions, is like a multitude of different things. Distractions can mean a variety of different things for all sorts of people. But that's why you yourself will only know what is distracting you by going in here and having that conversation, being alone with yourself, right? I think a lot of people are scared to do that, and there's nothing wrong with admitting it. That's the first step. But to conquer your fear, you first must face your fear. And I think a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, most problems that could be easily resolved quick is just by harnessing the power within yourself, strengthening your mind, your mentality, and overcoming all the stuff that you've left locked away in here, right? Regret, loss, turmoil, sorrows, pain, addiction. We think that it's gone. We think that we've, swept it under the rug in such a way. But truth is, we really haven't. We've just, we've just not dealt with the problem. But then later on, doesn't matter what time frame it might be a week, it might be a day, it might be a year, but eventually it's going to resurface. And then what's going to happen is you're not going to see it coming, and then it's going to be like a hurricane. And I think that those little problems that could be easily distinguished right then and there, we form a habit, right? We form a habit of just quickly, by familiar patterns, we just quickly decide, instead of handling that little tiny problem, that little thing that's no bigger than a piece of lint, we decide to just put it under the rug. And then over time it slowly builds up, and then more is acquired, right? More problems are acquired. It's like they form together. This is very true. And I think sometimes we need to just listen to our inner self. We need to get in tune with our inner self. And like I said, it doesn't have to be nature. Each of you have your own form of meditation that soothes the soul, right? But to truly find that, you have to dedicate that time to just you and yourself. Nobody else. It doesn't have to be all day, it could be an hour. But to excel, to transcend, to find your higher fulfillment, your purpose, I'm telling you, the keys are right there in front of you. But first you got to be willing to go in here and battle the mental scars, right? A lot of us are scared to be alone with ourselves because we're scared because this thing starts talking to us, and I believe that, I do believe it's even in the Bible, it's in all different other religious aspects. I'm not bringing religion in, it's just facts. It's real. But fear and doubt have held us back as a race for centuries, for thousands of years. Fear and doubt has been ruled and used the wrong way as a scare tactic. It's also been used to keep good potential from finding their full potential. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I got some more exploring to do, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. I always preach good words of wisdom, and I always claim to say this. I claim to be a master at nothing, but a student of everything, because I'm constantly willing and open-minded to learn and listen to what the universe has to speak, to tell me, right? I'm telling you, there's lessons all around. First one's got to be awake to see. Hang loose.